Shalom Israel, and welcome to another edition of Yasharal's 20-minute breakdown, where I'll attempt to break down the scriptures within 20 minutes. But first and foremost, as always, you know how we do. We give all praises to Yahweh, Bar Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rakah, Kadash, and the Yakims and the elders in the highways and byways pushing this word in truth and sincerity. All praises. And the elder women teaching the younger women. All praises to you too. And the camps and the solo brothers going out there, making videos, edifying the body, pushing the truth according to scriptures. All praises. Now, I want to quickly just touch on something. This is just a quick lesson I want to do, actually. Maybe one of my quickest to date, who knows. But just want to touch on this charity that claims to be tackling knife crime in the so-called black community. It's the charity called the Ben Kinzeler Trust. They claim it's a charity that tackles knife crime through education and campaigning. Now, that's what they say. And if you go around London especially, you'll find a lot of these guys and girls, young of course, out there trying to make people donate money, to this charity. And, they claim it's to educate the youth, on like probably having a brighter future and to stay away from crime, especially knife crime. But here's the thing. Now, notice how anything that's run by Esau, i.e., aka, shall we say, the Caucasians, they always have this money factor that comes into play. Everything can be solved by money. But that's not always the case. The thing is, we have the tools to solve this problem in our very midst all along. It's sitting on the top of your wardrobe gathering dust, or it's, in a bookshelf somewhere being disregarded. Or, your grandmother only opens it on Sunday and reads one verse and close it and say amen. Yes, the book I'm talking about is the Bible, the Holy Bible. That book can solve all our problems that are in our community if we only picked it up and read it, and not only reading it, did what it says. The Bible has all the answers that these CEOs for these charities who's skimming off the top, shall we say? Because don't tell me this CEO called Patrick Green, he doesn't get a big cut of this money that's been raked in on a regular basis. By the time that all that money that's been collected filters down to our community, there's probably not much left after all these big heads get their cut of all what's being collected. So, the problem is we keep going to our oppressors for the solution when we have the solution. And we're in this problem because we forsook the Most High God's laws, statutes, and commandments. This is why we're in this problem. So the only way to get out of this problem is to adhere to the laws, statutes, and commandments. I mean, imagine if we only just kept one, let's just say, out of all the commandments, let's even just say, let's just say there was only 10 commandments, even though we know there's much more than 10. But let's say there was only 10. If we kept, thou shalt do no murder, just that one, do you know how dramatically knife crime will come down in our community? And if we just squeezed it to one more, like loving our brother as ourselves, do you know that would eradicate knife crime totally in our community? That is the solution, not collecting our money and giving it to the other nations who doesn't mean us any good anyway. Okay, I want to quickly get into this lesson because it's not a long lesson. I'm going to start with the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17. I'm going to start there, and then I'm going to just go through a few scriptures and wrap it up. Nice and short and sweet. Okay, but first and foremost, I've got my timer, and I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1. Boom, we're away. Let's go. The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17, and it reads, Lamentation, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Now, there's the thing. We are always run into these other nations that can't do nothing for us, that actually is quite happy we're in the position we're in. Because if we ever did unite together, all of us, and we stop murdering each other, stop whoring out our women, being a father to our children, mother to our children, a husband to our wives, a wife to our husband, and we came together as a community, these other nations will be terrified. I mean, let's face it, brothers and sisters, it's up to us to help ourselves, our brothers and sisters, to get ourselves right with the Most High. Once we get right with the Most High, we will be right with each other. Because if we start to do what He said, it filters down and we'll be righteous, living righteously with one another. You know, that's the only way we can get out of this situation. Throwing money at these charities, you know, that's claiming to help us is not working. We've been doing that for decades and we're in no better position. I mean, come on, brothers and sisters, just watch this. Look how simple this would be. Watch this. I'm going to read the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, verse 2. Watch this. Proverbs, chapter 7 and verse 2, and it reads, Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. That's how simple it is. If we are keeping the laws of the Most High, we would live because we'd be loving our brothers as ourselves, and we would not be doing any murder. And all those commandments, slowly, you know, they'll be second, or should I say, I shouldn't even say second, I should say they'll be first nature, because that's really where we need them to be, not second nature. They need to be first nature. That should be our primary goal. Now watch this. I'm going to just quickly read the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18, verse 21. Watch this. Ezekiel chapter 18 verse 21, and it reads, But if the wicked will turn from all his sins that he has committed, and here we go, and keep all my statutes and do that which is lawful and right, he shall surely live. He shall not die. That's how simple the Most High made it. But we always want to turn to other things. We want to listen to friends. We want to listen to music like rap music and like dancehall music, which is very negative. It teaches you a negative, you know, especially towards your own people. Now, as I touched on music, watch this. I'm going to read the book of Psalms, chapter 137, verses 1 to 4. Now, when you hear this, you're going to know where this came from. There's a famous musician, an artist, sung this, but this is where he got it from. Watch this. Psalms 137, verses 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. Verse 2, we hanged our harps upon the willows of the midst thereof. Verse 3, for there they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, Sing us one of the songs of Zion. Verse 4, how shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? Now, You know, I'm not even going to tell you which artist, you know, because it's a very famous song. That's where it came from. Because, you know, when we were carried away captives, you remember, they used to say, the slave master, oh, you know, like they used to make us entertain them. Oh, sing one of those old songs of Zion, one of those slave songs of Zion. And they used to make us dance and sing and mirth, and they would get entertained by us, yeah? But, you know, but now, what are we doing now? What are we singing? We're singing songs about murdering each other. We're singing songs about you can't come into my area, postcode wars. We're singing songs about whoring out our women. We're singing songs about, you know, getting them pregnant and leaving them. We're singing songs about robbing one another, jacking one another, and so forth. Now, you imagine this. You tell me if, let's even say, the so-called Jewish community, those Caucasians that call themselves Jews, do you think they would endorse one of their people singing songs about murdering their own people? We're the only nation that does it. The Arabs wouldn't allow it. The Jewish people wouldn't allow it. The Indians wouldn't allow it. The Chinese wouldn't allow it. Only we allow it. And we get all hype and, you know, like it puts a spirit on you, like you want to go and do this after listening to a rap song like one of, you know, them artists is. It's madness. You see, what's going on right now in our community was prophesied by Moses, you know, thousands of years ago. Now watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. Listen to this. Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54, and it reads, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. You see that? You see that? That's the curses. That's the curses that was put upon the real children of Israel. Moses prophesied that these are the things that would befall the children of Israel, the real Israelites, if they forsook, meaning if they did not keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So now you see these things are happening to our people. That only just further proves who we are biblically. And watch this, I'll read on. Deuteronomy chapter 28, and I'll jump to verse 56. Listen to this. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. Now, this is why you see that a lot of women, if you look at some of our men are catching hell with our women because they no longer know how to reverence their husband. They're loud, they're boisterous, they got more testosterone than some of the men. But this is the curses that would befall us if we are strayed from the commandments. And worse of almost now, we're looking to the other nations to fix a problem that we should know how to fix. You know, really, when you go to the law, statute, commandments in the Bible itself, there's the solution. If this is happening to us for breaking the commandments, what would be the turnaround? I mean, it's not rocket science. Only but to keep the commandments would be a turnaround. It's that simple. And watch this, get the kicker, watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 62, and it reads, and ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of Yahweh, which is the Lord thy God, Yahweh thy power. It actually says Lord thy God, but his correct Hebrew name is Yahweh. So you see, it shows us that we would be left few in number. How? We'd be killing one another. we'll be getting killed by the other nations, and we're killing each other. That's how we're going to be left few in number. Can't you see the Bible is only speaking to us? So we can fix this problem. We have to turn back to the laws, statutes, and commandments and leave these other nations and their charities alone. That's what we need to do. Now, check this out. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 64, and it reads, "And the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." Now you see that? The Bible clearly shows us that we will be scattered from one end of the earth all the way to the other, and we'll be serving other gods, which our forefathers never called on. Gods of wood and stone. What are them gods? The wood would be the Christian cross, Christianity. The stone would be a Kaaba stone, Islam. Those are one of the two biggest religions that we find ourselves in, which teach us nothing according to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And that's why we are destroyed as a people, not loving one another, and all this crime going on amongst ourselves, because we are not taught correctly. These religions are not teaching us anything, how to serve the Most High and how to be a people unto the Most High and how to love our people like how we love ourselves. Yeah, it's not teaching us nothing like that. And watch this, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 65, and it reads, "And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind." Yeah, because we're catching hell in this kingdom. And then we got these other nations smiling, pretending that they're helping us. Oh, we'll put a charity to educate you lot, to make you do this and do that. And we'll rally for you. We'll campaign. We're doing all the legwork, collecting all the money just to go in your pockets. But it's not filtering down to our community. But you still constantly got our people, our men and our women out on the streets, still collecting money for you. But it's not being returned to where you said it would be. Now also watch this, Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 66, and it reads, "And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life." Now you see that? And this is our young people. A lot of them are walking, don't even know if they're going to see tomorrow. Some of them have got problems with other area people or gangs or whatever the case may be, and somebody rolls up, stab them or shoot them or whatever. They don't know if they're going to even make it to 25, let alone retirement age. They got no assurance of their life. Why? Because they have forsook the Most High. So by you forsaking him, he has forsaken you. That's how it works, whether you like it or not. And watch this, I'm going to prove that. This is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 2. And it reads, 2 Chronicles, chapter 15 and verse 2. "And he went out to meet Asa and said unto him, Hear ye me, Asa, and all Judah and Benjamin. The Lord Yahweh is with you, while ye be with him. And if ye seek him, he will be found of you. But if ye forsake him, he will forsake you." You hear that? Verse 3, listen to this. "Now for a long season Israel has been without the true God, and without a teaching priest, and without law. Now you see, that's why we are in this total mess, killing one another, because we are without the law, without a real priest to teach us the laws, and without the one true God. Because what we're doing, we're calling on the gods of the Caucasian, and in Christianity, which is where we should never be. We need to turn back to the Bible, go to people who is teaching it correctly and keeping the laws, and learn from them. Now, just quickly watch this. I'm going to back that up further with the book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 17. Watch this. Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 17, and it reads, I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Now you hear that? The Bible, he clearly says, I love those that love me. So showing you that he only loves those that love him. And how do you love him? You have to be keeping his commandments, because you can't reach up and give him a hug. So you have to be obedient. That's how you show him you love him. And there, when you're keeping his commandments, he will put the Spirit on you to do what's right. And, you'll slowly learn more until you become, let's say, in the eyes of the Most High, perfect. Because you can never be perfect in man's eyes. That's why I said, in the eyes of the Most High, if you're doing what's lawful and right with faith, you will be deemed perfect in his sight. And he will make sure nothing will befall you. Now, this is what the Most High has promised all those that turn to him, keeping the commandments and having faith in Yahushua, his son, the one that the world ignorantly calls Jesus. His correct Hebrew name is Yahushua. But just watch this. This is his thoughts he has towards all those that keep his commandments and having faith in the only begotten Son. This is Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse 11, and it reads, For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Yahweh. See, he says, saith the Lord, but I use his correct Hebrew name, saith Yahweh. Thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Hear that? So your life will be lived to the fullest. You'll get to see maybe 2-3 generations. Who knows? But watch this. Verse 12. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 12. Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. Now imagine that. You go to pray to the Most High, and he hears you, and he grants your desire. He's the only one that can. Yeah? So you think about that. But that's only for those Israelites who turn and keep the commandments and, and stop clinging to these other nations, like lobbying for them through their charities and like cleaving to them in other ways. Because watch this. Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 21, and it reads, Though hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Showing you that there's judgment for these other nations, but you don't want to join hands with them, because what does that mean? You're going to get the judgments they're going to get. So you're already on the back foot already in this kingdom. What you don't want is the everlasting kingdom to be built up, and you're getting the judgments of the other nations because you cling to them rather than depart from their ways and their understanding and turn to the Bible, learn the law, statute, commandments, and keep them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, now that's the message I wanted to really give, is the fact that we need to get away from these other nations with their, like they're lobbying and campaigning for us, and we are collecting money for them, which we never see any of it. What we need to do is, like me and my brother, let's say me and my brothers, we're in Brixton every Saturday, which is the Sabbath, and we're out there teaching our people. Come learn and start keeping the commandments and put away that hatred that we have for our own people, and let's start loving one another, coming together, keeping the commandments, building up our faith, and let's, sooner we do that is the sooner we're out of here, yeah? We can be the next ruling bodies in the kingdom to come. But we can't do that if we're going to join hands with the other nations. We've got to let them be. And when I say let them be, obviously we're living in their kingdom, so we have to work amongst them. You have to, befriend them, whatever the case you have to do. But let's not latch onto their ways, and let's not rely on them to fix our nation. We can fix it, and we've got the tools to fix it. Let's get off our backside and let's stop being slothful, and let's do this as a nation, unified together. So I hope I made sense. So with that, this is Yasharallah. We out.